I think this is round 3, guys. Round 3. Man, I've been running around all day. All day. All morning. I kind of don't like it, but, fuck it, whatever. It's so funny because people ask me, like how much you spend on supplies. I didn't want to say it, so I had one of... That's not what I spend on supplies. That's what I spent in that store only. And so I wanted the store, the worker, the clerk, I guess, to say it for me. People are always asking me, hey, how much you spend on supplies? Hey, how much do you buy? How much you spend on supplies? So I wanted to. It's about $400 a day, guys, on supplies alone, in that store. That's not the rest of the stuff that I buy online. All the other supplies I buy online. So I wanted him to show you guys, to tell you guys, because it's it's more legit, right? Than if I say it. If I say it, you might believe me, you might not. But if the store clerk says it, it's kind of legit. But I've been doing this for a while, guys. So I'm playing a different ball game. I've been doing it for a while now. When you're starting out, man, I remember just being like, man, if I could just make a couple $100 a day selling artwork, if I could just do that, that'd be amazing. $200 a day selling artwork, that'd be amazing. That's what, that's $1,000 a week. That's $4K a month. It's amazing. I was thinking like that, I was thinking that type of math started to get me going. A lot of people don't think like that, and honestly, a lot of people don't think like that. It's not because it's a bad thing or anything. A lot of people don't think like that because when we think about artwork, we're thinking about how do I sell a painting for $4,000, which is a good way of thinking. But most of us don't think, well, what if I sell a couple for $200? What if I sell a couple for $100? And then I'll sell the $4,000 one in there. It'll start going in there. Also, it'll be part of of a sequence. Anyways, that's for another topic. But what I was talking to you guys, I've been talking to you guys all day today is, hey, check it out, guys. Marketing with your ad dollars. Marketing with your ad dollars, okay, is to build an audience, not to sell a painting. Primarily, marketing with your ad dollars is to build an audience, not to sell a painting. In the beginning, then you can market with ad dollars to the audience you built, and you're now pumping harder. If that makes any sense. I put together a workshop for those of you who want to learn about the importance of building an audience. I'm going to share with you guys the secrets. Okay, they are secrets because not everybody knows them. Of audience building. Why you want to consider that and why it's hurting you if you are not doing it. If you don't have an audience to talk to, a group of people, I don't care if that group of people is 100 people or 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, whatever. The number's not important in the beginning. What matters is that you start pumping that number. You start working it. The importance of having an audience. How important is it to have an audience? There's so many artists out there I know because I was one who thought, man, if I get some of my income, if I get a little bit of my money and I put it on ads, I'm going to start selling paintings. While that may happen, and it does happen, it's sporadic and it's hit or miss. It's so much hit or miss. Okay? It's so much hit or miss. When it starts happening is when you allocate that marketing to building an audience, guys. And so, like I told you earlier, there's so many artists who go and are trying to learn from these marketers who may not be doing necessarily the deal. They're not doing the deal. They're not selling artwork. They're not marketing artwork. They're marketing to other artists, promising that they're going to teach them how to sell artwork, but they themselves do not sell artwork. They themselves sell marketing, I don't know, formulas or strategies or whatever to artists. And that to me is like I'm scratching my head with that. You know, again, it's like being divorced and teaching you how to stay married. It's like I don't think you can teach that, dude. You didn't win at it. I don't think you can teach that. Or being overweight and teach about fitness. You know, I don't think you can do it. There's no authority there. No, but I know the formula. I know how to do it. Yeah, dude, but do you really? Like, I don't think you do. Because it's not just strategy, it's mindset too. This is what a lot of people don't understand. They're like, I got the strategy. Yeah, dude, you might have the strategy. You might even have the book that tells you step by step. But if you don't have the mindset, you really can't teach it because 90% of it is mindset. It's not strategy. 90% of it, 90, it's mindset. It's not strategy. It's like selling those things to cover the horse's eyes, you know, and saying, "Oh, with this you'll win." It's like, no, dude, but you need the horsepower. You know, you're not gonna win with this thing, with these little things to cover the eyes of the horse. Like you still need the horsepower. You know, the horse is what makes it win. This keeps it focused. That's the strategy, right? Those things on the horse, that's strategy. Think of it that way, guys. Like when people are selling you, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to win with this. No, dude, that's strategy. You're going to win with the pumping of the horse. Like the horse has to run. That's how you're going to win. The strategy is just going to keep you focused. It's going to laser it. It's going to laser it. So this is what a lot of artists do. Again, you know, I used to do that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn how to do that. They're gonna teach me how to start selling my artwork and you know, exhibit and make all kinds of money selling my artwork. But then they don't. They don't because that's not their deal. They don't do that. You know, they're not artists. So they go and they learn a little strategy or a little tactic on how to get an audience or you know, whatever, right? But and then they try to teach you that, but they're not teaching it correctly. They're not teaching it properly. They're not telling you, look, dude, like if you want to get an audience, this is what you're gonna have to do. A, B, and C, and this is what you're going to start facing. And when you face this is what you want to do. This is how you jump through that hoop. Because they're not doing it, they don't know the shit you're going to encounter. They don't know that because they're not doing it. And so I was talking to some artists earlier, and they're telling me, look, I went and I paid for some stuff, or I seen this artist teaching this stuff. And it's not working for me. And my first question is it working for them? Are they doing it? Have they shown you that they're doing it? Can you see? Can you peek inside their studio? Are they shipping stuff? A lot of people say that it's working. They'll show you some bogus bullshit numbers, but man, can you see that it's working? Is there physical? This is what a lot of marketers do. They show you some bullshit numbers. They're like, oh yeah, look at these numbers. Yeah, but you don't know if it's from that. It might be from something else, or it might be made up bullshit. Who knows? Like, can you see that it's working? Are they packaging artwork? Are they shipping? How big is the studio? Are they doing it from home? If they're doing it from home and they're showing you, look, this is how I make $2 million a year, and they're doing it from a garage, and they have 3 little boxes they're packaging of artwork, I might second guess that one. I might be like, what? How do you make $2 million? Like, are you selling the paintings for $50,000 each? Like, how does this work? How does this thing work? This is the kind of stuff that I encourage artists to think about. And next time you're learning from someone, or you're getting your rah-rah from someone, you got to check, man, are they doing what I'm trying to learn? Or are they teaching me something that they're not doing themselves? There's so much of that happening. It's unbelievable, the amount of that kind of shit that's happening, and everybody keeps falling for it. I mean, I don't hate on a hustle, right? But it's got to be an honest one. It could be a person that's like, look, guys, I am not an artist, but I brought an artist who sells A, B, and C, and who's getting this results, and he taught me this, and actually he's going to join me on this webinar or whatever. See, so now I'm not hating on that hustle, right? That hustle's clear. It's like, okay, well, he brought the expert, Look, guys, I'm not the doctor, but I brought a doctor. And this is how he's going to show you A, B, and C, right? And I feel like that hustle works, right? That makes sense. It's an honest one. But not, I learned it from this guy, and now I'm going to teach it to you guys. Like, dude, it doesn't work like that. It's got to come from the source. If it's not coming from the source, it ain't legit. It's just not. I don't care that you know the strategy. It's not legit. Because again, 90% of it is mindset. The reason why someone makes something work, it's because of the horse, guys. It's the mindset. It's the only reason. 20% at most, I would say strategy. I'm stretching that one. It's probably 10% or less. Strategy is not the thing that makes it work. That's why the saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. Will is the thing that makes it work. Will is the thing that makes it work. It's not strategy, it's not technique, it's not, here's the way I paint. This is why I'm so successful as an artist, because of the way I paint. Of course not. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with the person's will. The willpower. How obsessed are they to share their work with the world? How many people are they sharing the work with? Who are they persuading to help them share the work? And again, this is a little bit more advanced, but this is to tell you guys, those of you who have been asking me, I get about at least five either DMs or emails a day asking specifically about this. Who do I listen to, man? There's so many people talking about this subject. Dude, look at the fruits. Look at the fruits. All you got to do is pay attention. Like, you don't even have to trust your instinct. Just pay attention. Pay attention to, hey, are they shipping artwork? Are they having gallery exhibits? You know, do they have a studio? If they don't have a studio, okay, cool. It doesn't mean that they can't be winning. Of course they are. It could also mean that they have a studio and they're bleeding and they're not winning. So you got to pay attention, right? You got to open your eyes and pay attention. Are they selling work? Are they exhibiting? Are they shipping stuff out? Do they come up with new ideas, new concepts? Are they helping other artists? Have they helped another artist besides me? How many people are buying into their idea? That kind of thing, you know. There's so much to look at. Like you have to really peel your eyes and look. There's so many people out there that have huge audiences of artists that are super hungry and are willing to pay anything to learn something from someone who's not an artist. To teach them about selling artwork. Dude, I want to learn from that person. I don't care if that person's a billionaire. I want to learn from that person. That person does not know how to sell artwork. That person does not understand what it takes. Same reason I want to learn from a speaker about rocket science. I don't care how great the speaker is. You know, the speaker can be, I don't know, Seth Godin, right? If I wanted to learn about rocket science or medicine or art, I wouldn't learn from that fucker. Of course not. He doesn't know shit about that. I don't care how successful he is. He doesn't know anything about that. There's nothing that Seth Godin would teach me about that subject. I'd want to learn about marketing from him. Maybe even speaking. I don't know. But definitely not selling artwork. Or marketing artwork. He doesn't know anything about it. I hope this makes any sense, guys. I hope this makes any drop of sense to people out there. And I hope that this answers the question and the questions that keep popping up about who do we listen to, who do I listen to. Everybody's talking about this. I don't know where to go. Another common one is... Oh man, I gotta put... Another common one is the person, I can't find the person's artwork that's teaching about this. Dude, if you can't find that person's artwork, I'd be very careful about learning something about artwork. This does not mean that you can't learn marketing from people who are not artists. Of course you can. Of course you can. You can learn marketing. But make sure that you're learning that. Like you can learn Facebook ads from someone who doesn't know about art, of course. But then you have to really start implementing, and you have to start testing and split testing and all kinds of shit to figure out if it's going to work for you and your artwork and how you're going to fit it in there. It's going to still take work. And for people to adapt to your voice also. That's a huge one. That's a huge one. People may not be adapting to your voice. What I mean by that is that people might be used to... People are actually used to certain things, you know? Like a marketer could be doing really well selling, I don't know, Shopify or Facebook ads or whatever. But it might be because they know or they relate to the voice. Or that marketer softened the market to the point where they're dropping pitches, right? They're trying to sell something. That marketer has a soft market now, right? The people are willing to pay attention. It's easier than to just go cold. This is what everybody's trying to do. How can I sell? How can I sell? Dude, you're going cold. I keep telling everyone, man, you got to go and start softening the market. by the time one of the reasons why I get to sell artwork and I get to sell workshops and people are buying my workshops now, it's because I've been talking for years about it. I've been giving free content constantly. So when I drop a workshop, it sells. And the reason it sells is because that I know it's that. Had I just dropped the workshop and be like, here, go buy it here, I might sell 1 or 2 items. As a matter of fact, I did that a long time ago, like 3 years ago. I did that, and I didn't sell anything. The moment that I start softening the market and I start talking and showing up and giving free content and helping, right? Helping, more importantly, connecting. That's a huge one. No one even talks about that one. People are like, oh, here's the strategy. Yeah, dude, but the market doesn't even know who you are. Or your audience, you may have a big audience, but the audience is not even listening to you. You may have bought the audience. You may have even borrowed the audience. There's ways to do that. But if the audience doesn't even know you, doesn't trust you, like you, and even if you get, I don't know, I forgot what the word is, recommended, there's another word for it, I don't know, referred, recommended, whatever, by someone else, it's still not as easy. The market might just not trust you. They've never seen you before. And so anyone selling anything, I keep talking about this, man. Anyone selling anything, you gotta be softening. You gotta be softening the soil for a good time. This is why when people were asking me, hey, are you gonna teach? Are you gonna teach how to workshops? Are you gonna teach workshops? They asked me this for 5 years, man. For the last 3 years, I've been dropping content nonstop, free content. Why? Because when I was going to get ready to start putting out workshops, I have softened the audience. The audience already knew who I was. When they refer to me, when they write emails to me, they say, the world's greatest living artist. I didn't tell them to say that. They say that because I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube where I call myself the world's greatest living artist. So the audience is soft, right? So when I go and I market or I drop ads, some of them already know who I am. And they're like, dude, I know who that cat is. I've seen him before many times. Now, if you start doing that with marketing dollars, if you start dropping content and paying, it is possible, but it's not going to be a couple of dollars, guys. You're not going to spend a couple of dollars. You're not even going to spend a couple of $1,000. It might take a couple $100,000 to start to soften the audience that way. This is why I keep saying, guys, like, it's energy. It's always energy. Energy will always win. Always. So be very careful who you're listening to. This is how this video started, and this is how I want to end it. Be very careful who you're listening to, and they better do that deal that you're doing, painting or whatever. They better be doing that. Otherwise, I don't think they got much to teach you. So I'll leave you with that. Take care. What's up, Richard? Take care, guys. Talk to you soon.